Okay, so welcome to Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is all about repetition structures, otherwise known as looping. And so I want to talk in this video just really quickly, maybe 5 minutes or so, walk you through what we're going to be doing this week, and then talk about some of the little things to watch out for. So I've got some common errors that I want to walk you through just really quickly. So walk you through this, you see the PowerPoint in here, make sure you check out the PowerPoint. I'll point out one thing just really quickly as you look at the topics and we let's see, step down here to slide 3. We will be skipping the file section. So we're going to stop. We're using this whole chapter, stopping at the end of loops at 511. We will skip 512 and 513. We'll actually deal with files and reading files in and that kind of stuff. We'll do that later in the semester. So I left the slides in the PowerPoint. I also left this video over here for reading data from a file from the author. But we're skipping that for now, so it'll fit better with what we're going to do a little bit later on. So you'll see, of course, you got my programming lab and then 5 assignments, the while loop, for loop videos. These are pretty good, so you might want to check those out. And then I left these 2 videos in here. I didn't assign either one of these problems, but if you're curious or you want to play around with these or you're having some troubles, maybe watch these 2 videos with these programming assignments. So they're both good programs, but I figured I'd just leave those for practice for you. All right, so I wanted to show, let me scroll down here really quickly and click on this. I want to show you some common errors, and we'll talk about some common errors. And this is slide 10 in the PowerPoint. This first one, pretty self-explanatory. Don't put a semicolon after the condition. So the condition is, while the remainder equals 1. So here we go. The remainder equals 1 is our condition. So you don't have a semicolon here. That will cause you problems. You can see this. This is missing here too. So watch out for that. I know it's tempting to put it on there, but it can cause you problems. And then don't forget to use the curly braces. Okay, so if we take a look at this code, and you can see in here while, and then here's our condition. So num entries less than or equal to 3. So we're setting this up, and you can see how this is indented. And if you're coming from a language like Python, where simply indenting something was enough, then maybe the way this is set up is okay. But the problem with this is if you don't use curly braces, this will read in here, and you'll get this particular piece, and then it will come down here, and this line is part of it. This line is not. So this particular statement right here, num entries plus plus, that's not in the loop body. So it's not part of the curly brace section, and so it will be ignored even though it's indented. So don't, if you've taken CIS2 and you're used to doing this for Python, which is great, it does not work in C++. So you must use curly braces like this. So put all these little statements you have in here, put them in the curly braces. Okay. The other major one that I see is using a single equal sign. So this is our assignment operator. Remember, if you're doing something in this particular statement right here, so while, and we look at this condition, remainder equals 1, this should be 2 equal signs here. So if you put just this right here, this statement, this little condition will always be true because you're setting this. So you have to be really careful of that. So use 2 equal signs, otherwise this will just carry on and on and on. So anyway, so watch out for that. All right. So let's see, we've got those. Make sure you check out the links that are in the um, PowerPoint, because you get to see some different loops and how they walk through. And while we're talking about that, one last thing, I wanted to bring this particular program up. All right, so this is one of the first little example programs that our author uses in this particular chapter. And I wanted to show you, this is the visualizer, the C++ visualizer from pythontutor.com. And when we're in here, you've noticed, obviously, everyone I think is using Repel now. Well, a couple exceptions, but most everyone is using Repel now to do their code. And we found that, of course, as I told you in the other videos earlier with the other chapters, as soon as we started asking for inputs from the user, then we've got some issues. So there's this is experimental, so thank you to Philip for putting this together for us, but we can still use it for things like this. And so I wanted to show this to you. In this particular, you'll see in this code that we are not asking the user for anything. So this code will actually function, and we'll get to see the loop as it walks through. And so I wanted to show you this and how it works, so that if you have any problems with a particular program that you're working on, one of the things that you can do is hard code your variables. So comment out your asks that you have from the user. So any statement where you're asking an input from the user, comment those out, hard code any any variables that you have, and you can come in here and step through it and see what's going on. So it's really easy, copy and paste, go back and forth between REPL and this. So, but just really quickly, just to show you this, so we're setting this, and you can see as I hit forward, boom, the count is set at 1, so whether you start at 1 or 0, and then it's going to walk through this loop. So it's going to step through this, and it's going to say hello, then add 1. We wrote out the long way, so we're adding 1 here, and stepping through, and you can see this is going up, and it will roll through, have these little things. I'm just clicking through quickly, and then when it gets to this where this isn't true anymore, we're dropping out of there, and you can see we went down to that's all, and that's it. So, but this helps you walk through just in case you don't know what's happening, why something isn't working correctly. This can really help you out. So I still swear by pythontutor.com, and I love the visualizer here, even though we are limited in other languages other than Python with it. So don't forget to check this out, and you'll see some of the links from the PowerPoint will use Python Tutor just to help you walk through them too. So anyway, that's about it. Sorry, it was about 6.5 minutes, I guess, so I didn't make my 5. But anyway, hopefully that helps you out. I would suggest the go back to the once you've reviewed this a little bit and you've walked through some of this stuff, go back and watch a little section about some of the common loop errors and have fun. And I hope you like playing with loops.